Good evening and welcome once again to What's Your Point? We have a lot to talk about this evening, including the fact that a couple of powerful unions in Canada are asking the federal government to institute a Buy Canada policy. But if we're going to ask our federal government to do that, shouldn't we be asking the same thing of ourselves? Just one of the topics this evening, and we're going to get to them right now. All right, to our panel of non-experts now, and with us this evening, we have Nick Renda. He is with T. Litson Sports. Also joining us, Maribel Linfield of fooddiva.com and the Education Director at Oxford Learning Centre, Alison Burke, and the Director of Community Services at the City of Woodstock, Bob McFarland. Those are the guests. Now let's have a look at the first topic.
He may be the greatest Olympic swimmer ever, but reality caught up with Michael Phelps when he was caught on camera taking a toke of pot at a party. Oops. All that wonderful PR capital he'd built up gone in a puff of smoke. Kellogg's dropped him immediately, but Speedo and a couple of other sponsors say while they don't condone his behavior, they'll keep him on. So many things to talk about here. Even if he does take the odd toke, why'd he do it there? Has he blown his good name? Did Kellogg's overreact? Nike underreact? Is it such a big deal? And what must his mother be thinking?
I can tell you, I read a little report that his mother was very, very angry with him. He's not that old. Did he really blow it, Nick, do you think?
No. I mean, you know, it's something I don't believe in. I'm not a, you know, pot smoker. But I mean, the fact is, you know, he did have bad judgment there. You know, wrong place, wrong time. You know, but should you drop him? I mean, Nike and.
Well, he was among friends, you know.
Yeah.
He was at a party, and you know, you would think that friends really wouldn't, you know, do that to you.
Friends or acquaintances, right, or both?
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of people who have acquaintances who you're not so sure you can trust and might throw you under the bus if the opportunity presents itself for a little bit of cash. And I think that's what happened.
Too, this fellow was 15 when somebody put him up on a very high pedestal and shone a spotlight on him. Now 8 years later, he's still up there. He is earning over $5 million a year. Yeah. He has a high school education. He's not, you know, he hasn't spent a lot of time in university studying anything. And
he has a lot to lose. He has so much to lose.
Yeah.
But by the same token, I mean, you know, he's a kid who grew up with ADHD. You know, do you let a guy like that alone out in the community?
Well, I would say that, you know, as soon as you're a public figure, you have a lot more at risk. And when you have $1 million at stake and you have big sponsors whose target audience is a young crowd, you're a role model, whether you want to believe it or not. You are a role model. And if you're doing things that are, you know, morally at stake here, then it's not a smart move.
Okay, so Kellogg's dropped him, but Nike kept him on.
Yep.
What does that say?
The age demographic is completely different. Kellogg's is cereal. You got little 2-year-olds to very young, impressionable minds seeing this sports figure, 8 Olympic medals.
I mean, 4-year-old eating the cereal is not going to know what pot is.
Yeah.
They're not going to.
Anyway.
You would hope, and they're not going to be the ones that are purchasing this product.
I think Nike.
They're the ones bugging their parents.
But you know, you've got Nike that has stood behind him and said, you know what, and they did. I mean, it was a bad indiscretion. You know, he shouldn't have. You know, with friends, it didn't matter whether it's friends or not. Someone's going to, you know, with technology nowadays, snap a picture.
Okay, does it matter that it was just pot and that probably half the population of North America and Europe use this drug?
I think that's exactly the issue that's at point here. It isn't as if he went out and shot somebody. Yeah. He did something that probably 3/4 of the people watching right now have done.
Mm-hmm. He made a mistake in the past, but he made a mistake in the past. He was caught at 19 for drinking and driving. Yeah. And
also
you know what?
But this is also something that you're...
I think too that, you know, if you're going to be doing something, why did he have to do it with the camera around or with a cell phone around or in an open environment? Like, that was just dumb. I mean, that puff of smoke really cost him millions.
He's a big figure in the public. He can't pretend he isn't.
I think perhaps in the future when he wants to do that, he will do it in the comfort of his own home or something like that when there's nobody around. Okay, good discussion. Let's move on to the next topic.
Life can be rough for a dog. Here at the Westminster Kennel Club, Best of Dog Show in New York, only the very well-heeled need apply. And that's a problem for some people. PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, says that such parades of purebreds encourage irresponsible breeding and buying at the expense of mutts who are right now wasting away in animal shelters. Not only that, really stupid people watch the show and then buy purebreds. Then they find out they have no idea how to look after them, and the poor dogs end up in the pound. The British Broadcasting Corporation this year refused to cover Britain's national dog show for just these reasons. So the question, dog shows, good or bad?
And it isn't just really stupid people who are watching the dog shows and, get the idea that they'd like one of these dogs. I mean, they do it every day, go to the pound and even buy a dog and find out that, that the dog, does something on the carpet, or you actually have to feed the thing.
Yeah.
And take it out for a walk and they don't want it anymore. Anyway, Maribel, you go.
Well, dogs to me should be your best friend. They should be a part of your family. I don't think they should be on exhibition. I don't think they should be breeded for their mere appearance, where their appearances are accentuated or completely modified to just for show. I think it's ridiculous, especially when they're breeding for the purposes of appearances only and forget health.
I disagree with a bit on that because, if that's what someone wants to do, and breed, that's, to their decision. But, I think the mutts are still going to get, because people aren't going to be able to afford,
Yeah, you're comparing two very different things.
Yeah.
The dog show people, it's a lifestyle for
Definitely.
them.
Yeah. It's a money-making exhibition.
Yeah. Well, it's not just about money, it's about a whole lifestyle. I've run into people who, that is their life. They don't have any kids, they've got 2 dogs, they take them to dog shows, they don't do anything else.
Mm-hmm. My friends, and you sit there and you compare it to having them as your best friend, and you don't want to accentuate those details, but you've got women and men on magazines who are models, and they're accentuating details, and that's their job as well. And they're also friends. So I don't know that it's so much about not accentuating and having them pets as just as your friend. It's the issue of anybody can go out and get a dog, and I think that's the issue. It doesn't matter whether it's purebred or a mutt.
The problem here is that people are watching this and they want to go and get one of those dogs. I think 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, it was a Dalmatian that people were buying because the Dalmatian won. Those things are vicious. And they were getting them home and they were biting everybody. And then you had Dalmatians running all over the place because people just turned them loose and said, I don't want this anymore.
Their decisions are based on appearances, not on actual practicality, not on friendship.
Well, they had, Save the Greyhounds. I mean, they have different, there's a lot of, a warm family wants a dog. You can go to a pound and get, not everyone's going to be able to afford a...
Exactly.
Okay, so the point here, should we be having dog shows then? Because it gives the wrong message out there to everyone.
Well, do fashion shows give the wrong message too?
Of course they do, but they're still there. And I think that's the point, is that it's the same thing going back to, there's always controversy about anything, and you can't please the masses.
You definitely can't please the masses, but I think when you're dealing with breeding for the purposes of appearance only, even at the cost of a canine's health, I have an issue with that. If you want a dog, go get a dog.
But I think the breeding becomes, for the sake of health, that's actually more of an issue when you're crossbreeding, as opposed to breeding the purebreds.
Well, and we're talking about fashion shows, we're talking about human beings here, and of course with the pet shows we're talking about dogs and maybe cats, and we know that they're far more important than human beings.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more right after this.